everyone, this episode of Stuff and Things is brought to you by Onyx Off-Road. I actually ended up talking about and using Onyx Off-Road quite a lot throughout this video. Now, the best way that I found to use Onyx Off-Road while down here in a remote location in Baja, Mexico was to really utilize their offline maps. While we were back in town in San Felipe, I had a little bit of reception and I was able to download offline maps about 40 miles worth from the coastline all the way out to the dry lake bed and the mountain range that we're camping next to. I was then able to scroll around using their topographic maps and get a really good lay of the land. And then when you couple that with the satellite imagery, I was able to find little offshoots of trails that ended up being quite a cool adventure. One of the best features that I've been using is the Go and Track feature because we're leaving campsite out into the unknown and I don't really know where we're going other than looking at maps. So if we end up getting lost, I can always follow my track right back because Onyx Off-Road was recording it the entire time. Now you guys can check this app out for free online for 7 days. It's also available on iPhones and Android platforms. And then if you test it and like what you see, you can follow the link in the description down below, which will save you 20% off an elite membership with Onyx Off-Road. This is seriously something that I'm using for all of my adventures now, and I can't say enough good things about it. There's a ton of new features rolling out all the time, and if you guys like outdoor adventures and being off-road, then I highly suggest you check it out. So huge thank you to Onyx Off-Road for sponsoring this episode of Stuff and Things. What's going on, everyone? Back with another episode of Stuff and Things. It's day 3 now. Is it day 3? I think it's day 3 at Back to Baja. We got new neighbors. Woo! In an LT. So this is one that I was mentioning when I was doing the Storyteller versus Revel comparison. Is this yours?
Storytellers.
Storytellers, okay. We'll just say it's yours. It is the first one. So this is the one that Thor and Amy had and they were traveling around in, I guess. This thing's sick. A lot more affordable than a Sprinter, but I'm bougie, so I want a Sprinter.
Yeah, we were putting like regular gas in.
Oh yeah, regular gas. That is kind of nice then.
Yeah.
You could let it idle.
It's expensive enough, so I'm like, this would have been.
Yeah. So the rest of the day today, I plan on going on a little bit of an excursion. I was going to do it solo on the Suron, but I think other people are going to end up joining. We're going to scout some locations and should be a pretty cool adventure. Before that though, Mercedes-Benz has a tent way over here and they want to do an interview. So I'm going to go do an interview with Mercedes-Benz and then we'll get right into the action. Alright guys, we're done working for today. Now it's time to have some fun. Thor's over here on a 0FX. I test rode these like years ago when I first heard about them and I've wanted one ever since. That thing is a beast compared to this.
There's one in stock in Denver.
Dude, don't make me get another motorcycle. So I'm checking out some trails on Onyx right now. I downloaded a bunch of maps from the coastline all the way out to this mountain range, and it looks like if we go through this dry lake bed, there is an unnamed trail out there that will sort of spit you out somewhere over at what looks like a ridge that we can ride up, but I have no idea what it looks like right now other than just what I'm looking at on Onyx. So we're gonna head over there, scope some stuff out, and then we actually have a film crew here who wants to get some shots of the van, get some shots of like this whole adventure, so it's gonna be a hell of a good time. Hopefully we can find a good location to film some stuff in later once the sun's going down and it's golden hour. I better plug up my power port before I pack a ton of dust and sand in there. Suron is at 100% and I think we're all gonna caravan out there together. If we don't come back in an hour, send a search party. Either this died or I died. All right. You guys ready?
We ready? Yeah.
I'm recording our track, so if we get lost, we can make it back. That thing is fast. All right, hopefully you guys can hear me while we're moving this fast. Oh my gosh. That thing sounds so crazy. So this route that we're heading out on right now is part of the Baja 1000. Trucks and other vehicles come screaming through here. We're gonna turn off a bit just up ahead and hopefully make it up there. I'm gonna check the map, see how far out we gotta go. I know I need a foam mount. So a little bit more forward and then to the left. Ooh. We're super close to the turn. Might be this. Yeah, I think we just go out that way now. Dude, when you came screaming past me on that, it was so loud. Sounds like a spaceship. Oh, there's definitely been vehicles back here. So, looks like we're going the right way, kinda. This Suron now has over 100 miles on it. It was obviously sitting all winter since I actually like showed me putting this together and doing a distance test. I think during that distance test we got about 30 miles out of it in eco mode, just kind of riding how I'm riding now. Oh fuck, dude. I just got a huge mouthful of that. Ooh, so silty. Should just follow this for a while. Ooh, this stuff is crunchy, but then so soft underneath. This is where better tires, wider tires could help. Looks like people live over there. You guys want to lead? Yeah. Go for it. Ooh, I'm eating their sand now. Need goggles instead of sunglasses. Ah! Oh shoot, horses. Look at those guys. They're skinny. Yeah, I don't want to get too close to them. Dang, this goes on for a while. I have 83%. I'll go to like close to 50 before turning around. Okay. Yeah, if we go to where this starts going up the mountain, it's still pretty far from here.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, we can check it out like towards golden hour, I guess. At least we know where to come now.
Yeah.
All right, so location has been scouted. I saw some of the work that this film crew was doing last night. They have this giant rig mounted to a Ford Bronco, and oh, golden hour, sun going down out here in Baja, behind the mountains, kicking up dust and sand. So freaking cool. So I guess we'll head back to camp and hang out for a bit. Wait till this desert cools off. From one bike right to the other. I'm on a Super 73 now. Going to check out something kind of cool out here in the desert. Let's see what our friends are up to before golden hour is upon us. What's up, guys?
What's up?
Thor's in here getting tattooed.
What's up? Sombrero. Hey.
El sombrero.
This is Brian. That's his Instagram.
Yo, what's
right above
up?
his head. You can check out his work. Got a little flash sheet over here. What are you gonna get, Ashley?
I don't know if he's gonna have time to do anything for me, but I'll get a sriracha bottle on my ass once we get back to Denver.
Or that UFO.
The UFO. We could match. You could do like a UFO as a teardrop right underneath your eye.
I just wanted, I love sriracha.
Okay.
Just like, period, love sriracha.
I think it's
She's
from
like-
Asia.
It is Asian.
That's okay.
Yeah, you know about bee hens, dude?
Oh, we know about him now. And you're local to Colorado, so we're gonna come visit sometime.
Yes.
We'll be kicking it for sure.
Amy, are you getting one?
Yeah, maybe. We'll
Maybe.
see.
Yep,
Not now,
maybe.
then back in Colorado.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we're neighbors.
A few moments later.
What are you doing?
Huh? That's where I'm gonna get a tattoo.
Where, right on your hip there?
Yeah, like right in here.
Thor's done.
Heck yeah, man.
Nice, dude. Gonna get that pussy tegaderm sack. That's the best.
That's the
Little
best
juice
part,
sack.
yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, save it for later, you know?
Thought of what? Get needles shoved in your skin. Yeah. So you don't have any?
So while they are getting tattooed, check out what is on its way in right now. Freaking cooking.
That was wild, dude.
Wild?
It's like, you don't expect it not to be wild, but
Wow.
All right, now that I can hear you, impressions of that.
Wow. Like, yeah, you've seen videos, you know it's wild, but it doesn't even compare to like how quick things are happening and like
Just instantaneous,
like
tires dancing around.
you can't explain it. It's
Yeah.
Can't explain
like
it.
beyond the fact that it's a truck hauling ass through big bumps. Like I was saying to Dan, like the speed at which he can process what's happening and like knowing like, oh, there's a turn up ahead or a big bump. I need to slow down now because of these 3 big bumps. I'm not like, it's not like you're on the road where you're relatively connected to the road the same way. It's just, holy.
So I've known Aaron for a while, and he's very rarely impressed by like anything. So that says a whole lot right there.
Yeah,
Good stuff, huh?
Yeah, it's like, it's one of those experiences where there's nothing that can prepare you for like, and I'm sure that when you're out racing, it's even way crazier than that. Like,
Well, here's the thing. You know what? It's something we've practiced for a long time,
yeah.
and you get pretty good at it over time, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah, you can't process like I was saying to him, the craziest thing to me is how fast he can process.
Victory is yours, pal. Victory is yours.
Like the craziest part is how fast he can process.
Yeah, it's just like
bump, bump, bump. And he's like, oh, we'll slow down this bump. And then we're gonna
So that right there is one of the Baja winners from a previous year out here, bringing out his trophy truck to just completely thrash out here. I didn't get a chance to ride in that, but one day I would love to because it looks insane. And like I said, if something impresses Aaron, then there's a good chance it's going to impress me. Speaking of that, we're heading over here to Warner Vans, where I took the Storyteller while I had it for those 2 weeks. Based out of Salt Lake City, great place to get any kind of Mercedes serviced, and they've got something new cooking up. All right, so this is Nico right here, who's a part of this whole project, and he's going to give us a quick spiel of this insane, serviceable, super robust suspension. So I'll let you take it away.
All right, hey guys, I'm Nico, as he just said. I'm part of 4x4 Project. We're a small Spanish company. We're specialized in suspension engineering, and we teamed up with the ebikes crew, you can see right here, to develop this awesome Sprinter suspension kit. So what we're looking is taking the performance of these vans to a whole new level. But our first priority is not going fast over the dirt. Our first priority is stability, to make them handle safe. And that will allow us to travel at greater speed. So what we did is a complete redesign, complete new approach to this. Instead of adding brackets and stuff, we went in the front with a complete new strut. It's been developed from scratch. You got a 2.65 shock diameter. It's monotube technology with a digressive piston, large 60mm digressive piston. We have a large reservoir that comes from off-road racing with plenty of oil and nitrogen volume with an ACV valve. So this shock is auto-adjusting. You don't have to do anything on it, no clickers. It'll be soft when you're going slow, nice plush ride. Once you start to hit it, it's gonna tighten up and give you that sporty ride.
So right on in here, paved road, jump right to the dirt. You don't have to jump out, mess with clickers.
Exactly.
It's
No
just...
clickers, no getting out. You know, you're getting back from a ride through the mud. They're all dirty. You don't want to get down there and adjust them.
Yeah.
Plus, you don't have to spend time learning how to adjust them. You just put them on. We spec them to your weight, and off you go.
That's a huge thing, speccing it to the weight of your actual van and the gear that you use.
Absolutely. And as you all know, Sprinters tend to be back heavy, so once you build them, the rear ends go down. Some approaches are adding leaves or adding heavier leaf springs. What we've gone for is we've gone, typical for off-road racing, a coilover spring on a coilover shock. So to do this, it was a big headache because we didn't trust the weak factory mounting points. So as you can see, we made an upper bracket that ties on into the original shock mounting location. It ties into a frame down here, spreads the load across a very wide area, plus it places the shock in a double shear configuration. So there's no risk of snapping that bolt.
I have sheared mine off before, so yes, I understand.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make sure you're not going to break this. Plus, we spread the load over a very, very large area.
Yeah.
So that a thin sheet metal, well, they call it a frame, but it's more sheet metal.
It's like sheet metal, yeah.
Doesn't get any bends, any cracks, anything. So we're spreading the load over a very large area.
That's huge.
At the bottom, we're going for a reinforced bracket. It ties into your U-bolts front and back. It ties in through this hole. We don't have the bolt in, but you can see the hole into your stock shock mounting location.
And this is now no longer the low point, is what I just found
It's
out.
not the low point.
It used to be the low point on the van.
It used to be here, now it's here. Plus we integrate a little skid plate so that if you get hung up on a rock, on a rut, whatever, it'll skid just over it.
That's awesome. I have broken that exact bolt.
That's a 10.9 metric bolt, which is about a grade 10. And we put a lot of research on the material of these shocks. So this piston rod is nice and chromed. You don't want it to get it, how do you call it? When the stone hits it, you don't want it
like nicked up and
you get it nicked.
Whoa. I was not expecting that.
There's nothing there. Why do we do that? We put a lot of research into our materials because the longer our piston rod stays entire without any scratches or spikes or whatever, the longer lives our seals will have.
Yeah.
Because seals usually get broken because you get a stone hit here, it gets dented, and that's what makes
wrecks your valve.
So with every ride we keep learning, we get more feedback, and once we get back home, all that feedback will turn into the new tune, and then I hope we can start production.
So awesome, man. Thank you for all the info. It's good
Nice
to meet
meeting
you, man.
you.
Yeah, thanks.
I hope to see you soon for a ride.
All right, so I wasn't planning on this, but we're now sitting in a Storyteller with this suspension on. These guys are getting cameras already and everything. And I'm gonna drive and test out this suspension, which is good. You should always test stuff before you go and buy it, but I was kind of sold on just your speech and looking at the product. It looks insane. So now we're gonna test it, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it in a second. Their bike.
That was the bump, that was it. Now we're going left. Go left, like.
I can feel every input I put into. Coming out this road, I was getting understeer like crazy in my van yesterday. And we were pushing it, only doing like 45 though. Oh my gosh, yeah, it just sucks all
Now
that.
you're gonna follow these tracks to make a slight right. No, the speed is good. Just
Speed's good, okay. Like that, see that I would slow down for typically. Good speed through this stuff too?
Whatever you like.
Okay.
You don't need a speed, it's got enough traction.
Okay.
Give it a bit more.
This is crazy.
Go over the bump, you're fine.
Oh my gosh. It feels like truck suspension.
Stand back, yeah.
Okay.
Go up and join the main one. Go up. Yes, you're good.
So this is what we drove in on, so now I can feel like a direct comparison.
Alright, now goes very slow.
Okay.
Like 2 miles an hour, 50%. Usually you would take some momentum to do that.
Yeah,
right?
I would definitely want speed through
Alright,
this.
no, just keep it steady like it.
Are we in 4-wheel right now?
Yeah, you're just normal 4-wheel, open this. Alright, wait here so these guys can go past.
Wow. I would definitely want speed through that in my van. Oh, it's hot. Yeah.
Go for it, floor it.
Floor? Okay.
Floor it. Now at the end, just straight through it.
Damn.
Now there's sharp left, sharp right. Keep going, keep going.
Nah,
He told my
that's
camera.
not what I'm doing. That's not my goal. How does it feel to not have to hold a camera?
This is nice. Can I hire you? Alright, Nico's turn to drive. Everyone who's ridden with you today or has seen you guys driving was like, yo, that thing is nuts. So,
Just want to see some stability on these vans.
oh my gosh.
And I hate ESP because it's cutting the power all the time. With those cuts, almost 60. All right.
Wow.
And to be fair, what you're hearing is the beer packs rattling
cargo
fridge.
and stuff, yeah.
It's my beer. But
Right.
no one can take it.
Gosh. Literally just drifting through these corners in a huge Sprinter van.
It's like, oh, sorry, I went off track. Let's go back.
So I previously thought I drove pretty fast for a Sprinter van off-road, and this is just, I'll never say that I drive gnarly off-road after that. Well, that was, excuse my language, that was a experience. Holy. So I've done some gnarly stuff in my van. I like driving fast off-road, and I thought it was fast because it's a big, heavy van. Generally a little top-heavy compared to a normal vehicle, but I would have never thought to push a van, especially my van, to that type of limit. But man, that suspension keeps all your wheels on the ground planted. We were in four-wheel drive, just power sliding through corners, through ruts, over jumps, like, oh my gosh, that was absolutely insane. So, hey, dude, that van ride.
Like that's what I was turning around to see. And I was like, oh,
Wow.
You rode with him, right?
Oh yeah, unreal.
Dude.
Which van?
The new suspension.
Yeah, it's
Invictus.
insane. Did you go with Tony?
I went with both of them.
Insane.
Dude.
Insane. I told you insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's that much better, huh?
No, it's that. It's insane.
Ashley's tattoo is now done.
what happened.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Ooh. Hey.
That shading looks so sick.
So sick. He was like, I think this might be my favorite one
Let's see
from
it.
the
What
show.
happened?
Yeah.
So now that we're back at the Sat van, my suspension is great. However, ooh, I really want that suspension. Wait till you see the videos of what we were just doing in those vans.
We'll see that.
Was nuts. We got one more adventure while golden hour is upon us. So adventure, we're going out for a quick ride. I found a new trail on the Suron.
Did you?
And then it'll be one last night of partying
One more
until we
skip
leave
left.
Mexico.
Open.
All right, guys, we are out here. Now, instead of running down the route that we went down earlier, I'm gonna end up heading straight up here towards these mountains. They look a lot closer than they are, but I went out here earlier and turns out they're pretty far out there. So I believe this is the trail right here. Yeah, it looks like it's like right about here. Actually, it might be over this way a little bit more. Yeah. Woo! Now there's a little bit of sand and silt like we saw earlier. However, oh, barbed wire too. Gotta watch out for the barbed wire fences that are down. There's a little more sand out this way, but it's also not super deep, and the Suron is so light that it's fairly unbothered by it. Should really have some riding boots on because my legs are getting thrashed by everything flying up and hitting me. I picked this thing up for adventures just like this. Wasn't even really planning on coming to Mexico, but I am so happy I brought this thing down with me because it is just an absolute blast. Now we saw those wild horses earlier. Whoa, it's squirrely. And there's a ton of horse droppings and hoof prints all over out here. Haven't seen any though. Got to be careful for a few reasons out here. Rattlesnakes would probably be the worst thing. Scorpions, all the Mexico wildlife. This was going to be a group adventure, however, everyone is just spread out all over the campsite. Some people went to the beach today, just like we went to the beach yesterday. So now it's just me. Now, I've never really planned on modifying the Suron. However, now that I'm spending more time riding it, I think there are a few things that I would like to do. I believe there's a company somewhere in Colorado that does a rear tire conversion. So you're basically putting like a proper motorcycle wheel on the back and an actual dirt bike tire. So I think that would be pretty rad, especially when you're getting in this like sandy junk like this. And then there's also the possibility of making this thing stupid powerful and fast too, with new controller, new battery. I don't really want to spend a ton of money on this thing because it's already fairly affordable and so far reliable, so I don't really want to mess with that too much, but you know how I am. Can't resist a few cool mods here and there. Now, if anyone out there owns a Suron, I'm sure you've already customized yours, so I'd be curious to hear what you like, some of your favorite mods. I believe there's even companies like Warp 9 making accessories who are mainly known for their wheels, but they're making all sorts of parts. People do suspension upgrades. For me though, this is just a light, fun, sort of a toy that you can bring with you and extend your adventures just a little bit. Now that I know how it was traveling down here to Mexico, I would honestly consider bringing my Razor next time. However, that would be a whole process in itself. Oh man. Been to Mexico at some like touristy areas, been to Ensenada, got to see some of the local stuff there, but this by far has opened my eyes to what at least Baja Mexico has to offer, and I will definitely be back here at some point. Now we are out of the sunshine. It's already dropping in temperature. It's probably like 10 degrees cooler here in the shadows of the mountains. I've been riding on this trail for a few minutes now, and we're still not even close to the actual like foothill of the mountain. It's very deceptive when you're out on that dry lake bed. You look at these mountains and it's like, wow, they're huge and they're right here. But I was surprised to find out that it's a pretty good distance back here. This is another little route that I was able to find with the Onyx off-road app. This one wasn't actually marked by anything, so I was just sort of zooming in with the satellite imagery feature, and I noticed this little trail that is fairly straight. It's kind of like straight all the way back to where you reach the mountains. Whew, little jump. I'm not sure if this will allow me to ride up any of these ridges. This whole ridge line just looks super rocky and like really steep, so I don't think there's any way to like go up on top or over the mountains. But right up here is the point that I made it to a little bit earlier today when we were just kind of cruising around. Wait till you see these cactuses. Cacti? Wait till you see the cacti. Look at those suckers. That thing's like, man, it's got to be at least like 25 feet tall. And there's a bunch of them the further you go back here. So that was my turnaround point before. I'm hoping this will take me. Oh, there's a, what is that? Is that a cow? It's a cow. Ooh, it's got horns. All right, that is my signal to turn around. Sorry, cow. Please don't charge at me with your horns. Alright, so that was a good turnaround point, I guess. I don't know if livestock like that out here is like wild, given this area and it not seeming like private land. I would assume that they're wild, but I honestly don't know. Oh, what a cool freaking place though. Been to Baja once before, and after this experience, I think there will be a lot more Baja trips in my future.
Oh man.
Snoozing.
Why are you snoozing?
Because I'm tired. I'm old and tired.
How much fun did you have in Baja?
So much fun.
Would you come back?
Yes, I would. I don't want to go. I'll just stay here.
We could.
I might.
For a little until all of our police escorts and federales leave us. Now you guys are on your own. Well, that is all for Back to Baja. This is an event that started with like a few friends at Flarespace last year, and then they turned it into this event. So this is like second annual trip for this, and it went from a few group of friends to this awesome experience. Those of you who did not come, you missed out on so much fun stuff. I didn't do a great job at capturing everything, but I tried to put more effort into this video just because I was having so much fun. I didn't want to carry my camera around everywhere. we enjoyed ourselves. It was a hell of a good time. So huge thank you to everyone at Flarespace and Storyteller, Canyon Adventure Vans, Roam Rig, everyone else who was here, all of the vendors, and just awesome group of people. It was so much fun, and hopefully we can do it again sometime soon. It is about 1 o'clock in the morning now, and because there are a ton of vans here and we have to drive back up to the border, it's gonna be kind of a shit show in the morning. So we're gonna try to roll out of here pretty early. We got the whole van packed up. It's honestly not looking too bad in here, buddy. I mean, it's dirty and sandy. The Suron was the greatest thing to bring with. We could get you a Suron and a Super 73.
As long as I get my Super 73, that's all I care about.
I don't know how we'll fit them inside the van. We might have to throw on the motorcycle carrier for that, but
That's okay.
we can make it happen. So that is all awesome experience down here, connecting with a lot of old friends and a lot of new friends. There's gonna be a lot of cool stuff coming from this event in the future here on the channel, so stay tuned for all that stuff. If you want to see it and you're new here, consider clicking subscribe. I make new videos every week. As always, thanks for watching.
Talk to you in the next one.
Chicka, chicka, chicka.